well, that stuff is actually pretty good, and what it does to your hair when you use it, just put a little bit on it.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait
That's
to
really
use it.
good stuff.
Well, it says just put a little bit on. Eliminates any type of freeze or fizzing. Blocks in the moisture, blocks out the humidity.
Yeah.
Keep your hair looking in fine shape all day long. Really neat stuff, and it's good for both your skin and your...
Yeah, that's what it says. That's kind of cool. Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 159. Ooh. Valentine's Day is this week.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's just a couple of days ago. In the spirit of love and relationships, what advice can you give on disclosure?
Yeah, really.
How would you tell someone? Would you? When do you feel it's a good time? Very important question for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. First of all, happy Valentine's Day out there, everyone. And best of wishes from both Steffi and I. Anyway, before we get started off on today's questions and so forth, we do have a sponsor, and we're going to go ahead and do our sponsor first. And our sponsor is actually put out by Tish and Snookies, Manic Panic, and it comes out and it comes in jars. So it's it's available for it's out of New York City, both Tish and Snookies, New York City Manic Panic. It comes in your favorite colors and so forth. They have it in orange, they have it in green, they have it in purple and lavender, and they have it in Stephenie approved pink, and they also have it in the brand new hot pink too, as well. So it's a product that I will sponsor.
Get the pink.
And so forth. Yeah, don't
because
get the pink.
she's got the franchise on the pink.
So if you want to look like Stephenie, get the Manic Pink. The hot pink.
See,
really good colors. So worth. So
isn't that a cool color?
So it's called Manic Panic. Available at Amazon.com and any of the Hot Topic stores that are available to you, which are national chain. You can find Manic Panic. Manic Panic, everyone. The spirit of love and relationship, and what advice can you give people on disclosure? You want to start off?
Yes. First of all, I don't think we welcomed our new friends.
Oh,
Jen and Gavin. Welcome to GenderBlenders.
Yes, we have an addition to our crew, which is just added here with Stephanie and I here on GenderBlenders, and Aaron, who is here also, and we also have Brent, and now we have Jen, and we have Gavin. Wonderful, wonderful people. They're we bring a lot of spirit to our group. And we just wanted to really just applaud and say thank you. They just made some new videos for us. They started here this week, and they're doing a fantastic job. Congratulations.
But, we're a lot... When you think about it, we're kind of born with a birth defect. And so we do have to deal with that. It also may make a very big difference pre-op or post-op.
Right.
Because, when I was pre-op, I really wasn't interested in dating. I mean, there were more important things on the agenda, like getting corrected.
Yeah. You can always tell there are certain things, red flags or post-it notes and stuff like that let you know that you're indeed transsexual. And then, of course, when you go and you get your testing, I'm transsexual. I used to be considered to be intersexed. Transsexuals are born with one or multiple parts of the opposite gender. So to say intersex, well, what is that? That's what a transsexual is. Transsexuals are born with either a female brain and a male body, or with a male brain and a female body. So that would be intersexed. Okay, or they might have additional parts, like myself. So they don't use hermaphrodites anymore. They don't use intersexed. It's all transsexual, and it depends upon what level that you fall into as to whether you are a transsexual or whether you're just someone that falls under the umbrella term of many different variables and identifications in the transgender box, which is an umbrella term. So those are some of the things that we're trying to help people out. That's one of the reasons why we reach out and try to educate people, is because those things are there for you to get educated on. A lot of people just say, okay, well, I know, I've got 8 years experience of being transgender. I'm going, transgender what? One of the things, my first thing that my specialist asked me, he goes, well, yeah, well, if you're transgender, what are you? And of course, it turns out I'm not transgender. It turns out I'm transsexual. So, so they're all things that you need to really study. So, but applause. You're doing a really good job,
Yes.
Harpist, and whatever you decide to do later on in life, or do right now, you should be accepted for who you are, and that's one of the things that we work at and we strive for.
Yep.
So we applaud you and welcome you in all your wonderful comments and stuff that you leave here on our videos. It's nice to have you as a viewer of our channels as well.
Mm-hmm.
Would I reveal myself? Would you?
I think, for me, myself, I think it's an individual, your own individual viewpoint. So it's up to you, okay? It's going to be up to you.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have a son. Since I have a son, I might find that my son comes and visit me. Let's say that I get married and my husband decides that, and I don't tell him that I used to have a birth defect that I corrected. And if I were going to tell him, that's what I would tell him. I would that I had a birth defect and I've corrected it. But, let's say I didn't. It might be a little awkward. If he truly loved me, it shouldn't be a problem. But it's always going to be an awkward situation. And my view, I'd rather not have that awkwardness. I'd rather get that out of the way up front. I corrected my problem. I'm now a girl. I've always been a girl, my mind.
One of the things with me, under that same pretense, there were loves and relationships. I am an advocate, obviously, and I do on YouTube, I am a transsexual, and I do reach out to help others. So that's pretty much and pretty well known. I have never been a guy, okay? I've had a wrong part, but I have never experienced being a guy. I have been asked that by a lot of people, and I couldn't answer that question because I've never been a guy. And that some of us have, some of us haven't. I have not been. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some of us have been half and half and have had that feeling of being male. Some of us have not had that feeling of being male. I happen to be one of those who has never had that feeling of being male. Yeah. Because I knew I was a girl at the age of 6, and I've always been. They did try to change that, through drugs and medications. Of course, obviously that wasn't going to work with us.
That never works.
So, well, it can. It depends on how much if you're half and half. Transsexuals are half and half, too. Yeah. So they do experience that male part, that male being. Mm-hmm. I never experienced that male being. So it depends on where you're at as far as your level of transsexuality. If I am just dating, I don't go around and just talk about it out in public. I am me. I'm Stephenie. I am not anything else other than Stephenie. I present myself as Stephenie. I am a girl, and I need that attention and to be treated as a girl because that's who I am. Physically, yep. I'm not muscular. Everything about me is 100% natural. I don't need to pretend like I'm something else, and that is so gratifying. If I decided on a date, tell someone, yes, I probably would, if it was going to become a serious relationship. If I thought that it was going to become a serious relationship, and I would, my significant other. But I would not just go out and tell the general public. I don't need to.
No, there's no reason to do that. Yeah.
So, it depends on where we're at. What kinds of advice can I give you regarding disclosure? There are places to disclose. There are other places you don't need to disclose.
Right.
And there are places, and times when I would never disclose because I don't think I need to. Mm-hmm. And there are other times when if I don't need to disclose, they already know. But they're wanting to know more about me. And I enjoy going out. And if a group of people come together and want to know more about me, know more about and be my friend and know more about being transgender like we ran into last Sunday,
right.
I don't have no problems with telling them and letting them know that, I am female. I've always been female. I just had a wrongful defect of part, and that has been corrected. I'm now 100% female, and they're still working on changing it, and this change is still...
So in that case, disclosure actually helps to be able to educate the general populace.
Absolutely does.
And done in a social environment like we had last weekend.
Right. So as far as that is concerned, would I disclose? Yeah, I think that I would, but never feel that you have to.
Right.
I would never tell anyone that you must disclose, because disclosure is up to you. Once you are corrected, you are corrected. You're female.
Mm-hmm.
And disclosing is something that is only between you and your significant other. Anyone else that would come into the lives of you and your significant other, you don't have to disclose to them.
Exactly.
You don't have to disclose your significant other, but although
Mm-hmm.
I would, once I chose them to be my significant other, or before I would consider or allow them to go too far in considering me to be their possible significant other. At that point in time, I would. But once you're a girl, you're a girl.
So, for example, one of the things we talked about, when we were talking about this before we started the video,
Mm-hmm.
was, if you're on a first date or maybe a second date or maybe even a third date, you're probably not going to want to go all the way with that person. And that's probably not the right time. They're just dates.
Yeah.
And those are probably not the good time to do it.
Right.
But when the relationship gets serious and you do find that there is this attraction and maybe you found somebody for life.
There's never a good time for you to go all the way if you are afraid of disclosing who you are.
That's right.
If you are disclosing who, because you should, if you are going to be that serious, if you're just out plagiarizing yourself, you could end up in danger, as anyone could.
Mm-hmm.
Even a natural girl could end up in danger out there playing the field.
Mm-hmm.
So, are there any more dangers than going out and playing the field? No. Because whether you are or not, there's always a danger out there to girls in general. So, I would never do that myself.
Yep.
And that's just me. We have other friends who do.
Yeah.
How would you tell someone? I would just tell them that I am, in fact, female. I would tell them that at birth I was born both male and female. That I am a transsexual, an extreme transsexual. And that I was corrected. I am now just plain female.
Mm-hmm.
And that would basically be about it.
Mm-hmm.
I am anatomically correct. That's doctor's states. I checked and I'm anatomically correct.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
Exactly.
If you're in pre-op, I would say you should always let someone know before you get into a serious relationship with them. Always. Or before you get into a relationship with them, period, and get discovered.
Yep.
Even if you're out playing around, you should let them know ahead of time before you start playing around.
That's right.
Because you can really be in a lot of danger from doing something like that if you're pre-op.
Yeah, there is a danger issue there, and we've stressed that a couple times, and it's real. It is a real issue.
Yes, especially in many parts of the country.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, and anyway, there are times when people ask you, are you transsexual or are you transgender? And there are more times when people who say they're transgender are in trouble than what there are people who say that they're transsexuals, because transsexuals are known to be born with a defect, needing correction, and are for some reason more acceptable socially.
Yeah. And in some cases, it might even be wise to point out that exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed, this is a birth issue, and
it's a definite.
Nothing else.
It is a precise medical condition.
Exactly.
Where none of the others are a precise medical condition. Being transsexual is a precise medical condition. So, but in any case, I've enjoyed making this video, and I hope that we've shared some vital information with you, as well as sharing our opinions regarding how we would handle things if either one of us were to get into some form of a relationship. Stephanie might, and I might get into a relationship with a significant other, but it's like I've always told her, if I get into a relationship with someone, it's going to have to be someone that she would approve of as well, because she's family. And the same way with me. I mean, if she was to get into a relationship with someone, I'd be scrutinizing that person very, very closely. Because we're sisters. And we're sisters, so. But anyway, I appreciate it, and my name is Stephenie.
And
So,
I
okay,
am
there's something else you want to say?
Yes, there is.
Okay, say it.
So, for
Right.
Valentine's Day, is it because of Valentine's Day that your hair looks particularly radiant tonight?
No, we didn't need to put that in the video. But so. Yes, I'm back to being pink, my normal pink self. So,
until next week. I'm Steffi.
And I'm Stephenie.
Until next week.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.